It began innocently enough, with the arrival of a seemingly ordinary package. Sarah and David, a young couple with 2 children, Ethan and Lily, had just moved into their new home in the quiet countryside. Eager to document their fresh start, David had ordered a state-of-the-art security camera system for their property. Little did they know, this decision would lead them into a nightmare they could never have imagined. The package arrived on a crisp autumn afternoon, its contents promising peace of mind and security. David wasted no time in setting up the cameras around the house, ensuring every corner was under surveillance. Sarah admired his dedication to their safety, but she couldn't shake a feeling of unease as the lenses stared back at her, unblinking. Days turned into weeks, and life settled into a comfortable rhythm for the family. But beneath the surface, a sense of tension lingered, fueled by the constant vigilance of the cameras. Sarah found herself checking the live feeds obsessively, searching for any sign of trouble. One evening, as the family gathered around the dinner table, Ethan suddenly froze, his eyes fixed on the monitor displaying the backyard. "Mom, Dad, look," he exclaimed, pointing at the screen. David and Sarah followed his gaze, their hearts sinking as they saw it. A shadowy figure lurking in the darkness, just beyond the reach of the porch light. It moved with an eerie, unnatural grace, its form twisting and contorting in ways that defied logic. From that moment on, fear gripped the family like a vice. Every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of the leaves outside, sent shivers down their spines. They tried to rationalize what they had seen, blaming it on shadows or tricks of the light, but deep down, they knew the truth. Their home was not as safe as they had thought. As the days passed, the sightings became more frequent, each one more unsettling than the last. Sometimes the creature would appear on multiple cameras at once, its presence looming over the house like a dark cloud. David tried to reassure his family, assuring them that he would do whatever it took to protect them, but his own fear was beginning to consume him. But there was something more to these sightings than mere malevolence. The creature seemed to taunt them, toying with their emotions like a cat with a mouse. It would linger just at the edge of the frame, its form shifting and undulating in a grotesque mockery of life. And then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, it would vanish, leaving behind nothing but a lingering sense of dread. Desperate for answers, David delved into research, scouring the internet for any information that could shed light on their mysterious visitor. He discovered stories of other families who had experienced similar phenomena, their accounts filled with tales of shadowy figures and unexplained phenomena. But the more he learned, the less sense it all seemed to make. The creature defied classification, its actions defying logic and reason. It seemed to operate on its own inscrutable agenda, driven by motives that were beyond comprehension. It was as if it were playing a game, David realized, a game with rules that only it understood. And they were the unwilling participants, trapped in a nightmare of its making. Armed with newfound resolve, the family set about preparing for the inevitable showdown. They reinforced the security measures around their home, knowing that they would need every advantage they could get. As the appointed night drew near, a sense of grim determination settled over them, steeling their nerves for the battle to come. And then, finally, it arrived, the creature, drawn by the scent of their fear, slithered out of the shadows and into the harsh glare of the floodlights. It was even more terrifying up close, its form twisting and shifting in ways that defied comprehension. But there was something different about it this time, something unsettling. As it moved closer, David realized that it wasn't just toying with them. It was studying them, analyzing their weaknesses, searching for the chink in their armor. And then, with a sudden burst of movement, it lunged forward, its form morphing into a grotesque parody of a human face. For a moment, David thought he saw recognition in its eyes, a glimmer of intelligence that sent a chill down his spine. But there was no time to dwell on it. In a desperate bid for survival, David grabbed a canister of gasoline from the shed, dousing the creature in its flammable contents. With shaking hands, he struck a match, igniting the creature in a blaze of fire. As the flames consumed it, the creature let out a deafening screech, its otherworldly cries echoing through the night. The family watched in horror as the fire raged on, engulfing the creature in an inferno of searing heat. And then, as suddenly as it had begun, it was over. The fire died down, leaving behind nothing but a charred husk where the creature had once stood. The family breathed a collective sigh of relief, knowing that they had finally defeated the creature that had tormented them for so long. But even as they celebrated their victory, a sense of unease lingered in the air. They knew that the darkness was still out there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for its next opportunity to strike. And so, as they returned to their home, they remained ever vigilant, knowing that the battle was far from over.